Alright guys, so we are back in Blender. You can see that I already prepared this back texture for this mesh, and this part we know from the previous tutorial where we were basically applying, and I was telling you and teaching you how to apply the texture to your model. But that's all in the cycles renderer. What if we want to export this model into the JSON file and keep those textures? How do we do that? Well, basic thing you have to do is to first of all go to Blender render, and you can see those textures are being applied, but they're not they are not being displayed in the Blender renderer. So what we have to do is to go and check each one of those meshes and delete the texture for it, and it will leave us with this smooth whitish looking model. What we do from here is to remember guys, we want to first of all when we are exporting this model, we want to apply all the modifiers, because the modifiers are not being respected or translated somehow into three.js, so that three.js, if it sees the information about, for example, mirroring or anything like that, it won't know what to do with it. So we will be left with, for example, one hinge instead of two as we have it right now. So we basically go ahead and apply all the modifiers we have in our scene. After that, it's pretty straightforward. We check this model, we can go ahead and create a new texture. We apply new material. We go ahead and we want to add the new texture. This is the bottom UV, like so. It's pretty simple. We go back to the material channel, material tab, and we hit tab, and don't forget guys to assign this model. What also is important that we check the mapping, and we have to check the UV map in the texture tab in the on the mapping section, in the mapping section. So we want to make sure we have this one selected from this drop down menu over here. So with that done, we go ahead to material tabs. In the edit mode, we click assign a few times, and we do the same thing with the backpiece. So we hit the new model, new texture, UV map, back UV, and we have this beautiful model already prepared for our for exporting. What is also important in exporting this model, what is important for us when exporting this model, is that we apply some basic materials to those rails over here, to this back looking U-shaped looking thing over here, and we just want to apply some really basic materials. So we go ahead and do just that. We go ahead over here, preview, diffuse. We want to set it to like reddish looking thing. I think that's not pink, red. So I think that's looking quite good. I think it would look even better when we apply some gray material to it. We will hit 0, oh my god, 0 and 0, and we basically want to no, that's not how it goes. So we want to say like this gray looking thing. I think I'm sorry guys, I think it looks great with the gray material applied onto it. Diffuse specular, we want to decrease the intensity to, let's say, 0.5, so it's it's not that shiny, it's not that reflective when the light rays come and bounce out of it and bump into it, or whatever you call it. Now we can go ahead and do the same with this material, this one. we are applying the same material to all of those pieces. We want to spare some time doing that. Let me go ahead and click the hinges, or the caps, the leg caps, this as well, and there we go. So we have this material, this thing ready to render, ready to export. I don't know why it doesn't have any, why it doesn't show itself in render channel, but that does not matter for us right now. What we want to do is to export that material as quick as we can to the JSON files. And how we do it is that we go to File, Export, three.js JSON. Guys, if you don't know how to switch on this plugin, I will make a separate video, or I will give you the instructions in the description section below. But basically, if you will have that if you will have that plugin on, I'll show you how to do what to do from that point. So we want to go ahead and enable precision, indent JSON. I think it already looks good. We want to go ahead and create those materials on my pulpit, on my desktop. But first of all, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and select this piece, go to edit mode, assign a few times. I think it looks great. Right now we go to export three.js JSON file with that mesh selected, and we check all the materials in our I will post the setting for export 3 in the description below, so don't worry about that as well. Export textures and stuff like that, and we go ahead and we want to check desktop, and in the desktop we will have this JSON mesh. We click export, and what we should have in our on our desktop is let me go ahead, guys, and show you that we have it over here. So it's seat and chair bottom UV. So with that and that, you will see that it's our texture. With that and that exported, we basically I explained to you how to export this mesh. So follow the same steps, doing that and doing that. What's different about the Rails is that we want to apply some basic material to it, and then go ahead to edit mode, click assign, assign. We want to check all those pieces. I don't know if it's necessary. I don't know if if it's already applied, but I tend to do just that. So my model has all the materials, all the textures applied to it. And go ahead and the leg caps. Okay, guys. So with that done, we for example go ahead and export the rail, because that's the mesh without the texture, with just the material on it. So we should see something like this. That's gonna be our paint. Well, good paint job. Okay. So all of those are going to be a paint job. And it's a basic material. It's a basic color information in hexadecimal value. So how do we export that one? The same way we exported the mesh with the texture on it. So we go ahead and click export to JSON. Faces, normals, UVs, apply modifiers. We don't have any modifiers, but we will leave that checked. Face materials, that's important. And scene materials. So we want to export every material that's on the scene. And again, guys, let's go to that was what was that? See, I forgot what was it, and I need to go back. So front legs. These are front legs. So we go ahead and export front legs. Front legs onto our desktop. Export. And with that done, we already see that we do we export it? No, we did not. I don't see it on my desktop, so let me go ahead and do it one more time. Front legs. That's good. And settings are the same as previously. Export. And now I do have it on my desktop. Let me show you in a second. Let me show it to you. Desktop. There we go. The seat and the front legs. And if I turn on the front legs, guys, let me just move it to the onto another desktop. If I open the front legs in my Notepad++, we can see that we have all this basic information visible to us. So we do have vertices, faces, normals, materials, and look, debugging name or whatever that is, paint job. That's very important. But color diffuse is what really matters in that file. We don't have any UVs. We don't need that. We don't need that because we don't have any UVs. It's just a simple material, and we don't need the name metadata. We will need that as well. We will need that. So with that done, it should work just like a charm. And guys, you should go ahead and export all of those parts onto your desktop, into the folder of your into the folder you prefer. After that, we are going to go into the viewport of a web browser, and we will import all of those models into our HTML file, JavaScript, call it whatever you want, and we will start from there. So you guys go ahead and enjoy yourself doing that. I'm out. See you later.